Hey everyone, welcome to a showcase race, also a submission race, for the new Need for Steve flag set that I helped build for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. With me in the booth today is Darkness. How are we doing today, Darkness?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see some Steves and some Steves, maybe a couple Steve 2s or Steve 3s. Should be a fun time.
Yep, and racing today we've got Turdsman against Sigil, so this should be a pretty good race. They are very evenly matched in Ultras League scores, so hopefully they'll do just as well in Steve. I'm gonna go ahead and start the countdown here in the race channel, and then we can start talking about Steve. All right. Okay, so Need for Steve. So what it is it is a flag set specially designed, and I'm clicking on the wrong thing, specially designed to introduce people to the and Steve argument. And basically what it does is, that argument does, is it sets everything in your game, aside from a few things, to the name Steve. So all items, all Espers, all magic, all characters, all enemies, they're all Steve. So you're going to see a lot of Steve in this set. But the few things that you won't see as Steve is when you pick something up from a check, it'll be the actual word. And when you pick up an Esper, when you pick the Esper up, you'll see the Esper's name, but in the menu, it'll be Steve. And then all of the skills that the characters can have will be what as you can see there, they've got a possess, which that's going to be very interesting. So those will all be the regular names, but anything that's in a menu, so like all of your items, all of your magic spells, as you can see, Steve, everything Steve. So what this flag set does is, one, it's a very easy beginner-friendly flag set, but it also removes several of the things that are more menu intensive, things like Rage that have a lot of items, and you would just see Steve, all through that. Well, we get rid of that so you don't have to deal with that. Again, this is very much an introduction seed. So that's basically the premise here. As you can see, we need 5 characters, 8 Espers, so lower requirements. And similar to Super Ball Relay, you start with KT Skip already unlocked, so you don't have to worry about that later on. You have smaller numbers of very powerful items that you can get from dead checks, and that's pretty much the highlights of what the Need for Steve flag set's all about. It's, again, very, very aimed at a person who's never tried Steve before and just wants a taste of Steve, but doesn't necessarily want the whole, like, true chaos Steve. And as I was talking about... Yep, go for it.
You saw a couple interesting things, as you mentioned, possess, which normally is not on in most seeds, but that's going to be very useful because you would take so many things out for Need for Steve. We need to put possess back in. So, yeah, in vanilla you can only get that from the ghosts in Phantom Train, but because of that, like, basically nothing is immune to possess. So you can just, at the cost of losing your character from the party until you get back to the airship, you can just get rid of a boss, even Final Kefka if you want. And we also saw, I believe it was either a Curse Shield or a Paladin Shield in the armor shop in Marsh, so that will be pretty useful.
And I guess I missed it in the initial description here. You all do start with quite a bit of money, enough money to buy 1 or 2 extremely powerful items if you see them in the shop. Now, part of what Steve is learning what things look like in the shop, even though you can't see them. It's all Steve. So knowing, something that's very expensive is probably going to be worth your time, and also knowing what item descriptions are is very important to being able to actually equip your characters. So like you said, they're picking up all kinds of Steve from chests, and you won't know what it is until you look in your inventory.
No merit award there. Region is Cure Ring. Not very much else good there, though. Esper Age Ring. Yeah. For burn protection if you want. But if you ever wind up getting murdered. Or Steve, I should say.
And when you're trying to go for shops here, one of the things you're looking for are relics that are about 4,000 to 6,000 gold. Those tend to be the ones that you want to get going. Those will be your earrings and your Atlas armaments are all in that kind of range.
Yeah, and also an important thing, because these Turdsmen buy the Paladin Shield, you can only look at descriptions if you have enough money to afford the item. So if they run into like a 50k relic, well, they won't know if that's an offering or an economizer or gem box. That happened to me once. I saw a 50k relic. I was like, oh, that's definitely an offering. And then I came back to buy it, and I was like, oh no, that's not an offering. And I was very sad.
Yeah, and another thing too is that is very good if you want to, go deeper into Steve is also knowing what some of the armor descriptions are when you're in armor shops. Some of them aren't what you would think they are, like the Minerva. The Minerva's description is actually something to the effect of, what, I think, magic.
Raises MP by 1/4.
Yeah, raises MP by 1/4. So that's the thing that I think is really kind of overlooked about Steve is that it can actually teach you a lot of things about the game that you wouldn't otherwise learn. And I think the big take home from Steve is that it actively punishes you for being in a menu because you feel like you have to read everything and you're just hemorrhaging time the entire. Oh, there's a paladin shield at SF Basement. So it like actively punishes you for going into the menu by making you read all kinds of extra stuff and look at all kinds of extra stuff. So I think in a way, by doing that, it kind of disincentivizes you from going to the menu just enough that you pick up some really good habits of getting characters set up sort of just good enough and then just going with them. Just like, do I really want to change their equipment? I don't really need to. I'm going to stay out of the menu.
Yeah, it can get very annoying, especially with relics in particular, because you can't see, well, you can see the descriptions of the relics in your inventory, you can't see the descriptions of the relics you have equipped, so if you're trying to change relics around, it's, unless you've memorized which one's in which slot, it's, can definitely be a lot more time consuming.
Yeah, and always putting things like the Moogle charms, always putting them in the top slot or the bottom slot, as long as you're consistent, can really help you when you need to swap things out towards the end. But in general, yeah, if you just set your relics and just leave them, that's generally preferred because most of the time, if you don't remember exactly what relics you put on, you got to take them both off and start again.
Turdsman, I saw by the description, Turdsman found an EXP egg somewhere, so that's going to be very useful.
Nice. That looks like in SF, is that World of Ruin? Nope, that's World of Balance. Right, yeah.
He might have picked it up earlier because he was just checking to sell stuff. But
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's always a nice. He probably picked it out of a chest, and that's always a nice, nice little surprise. Is I have this thing. I wonder which chest that came out of. I guess in a way, that's also a cool thing about the Steve flags is that because every item looks the same coming out of a chest, you don't have that moment where you feel like, oh, I got a menu right now to equip something.
Yeah.
Because you never know if you got something, and it helps you remember, hey, I don't need to menu until I'm ready to save.
We also saw Sigil pick up some earrings in World of Balance Zen, so that's going to be very useful. Finding earrings is always important in pretty much all Worlds Collide seeds, but definitely in Steve, where you don't know what the earrings are, you kind of want it. You want to get those early and just equip them all, and just not really have to worry about anything else. Yeah.
Yep, and the other great thing about earrings in Steve is that it's a forever relic. You never have to worry about like doing anything else with them. As long as you have picked your character that's going to be magic, put the earrings on, and again, you don't have to menu again, and it teaches you that lesson. Don't touch it. It's good.
Very cheap Esper there at Zen and in World of Ruin, so nice.
Good quick
lots
pickup.
Of cheap relics, which I think are all pretty crappy. I don't know if there's any good cheap relics really.
Situationally, there are a couple, but generally,
I guess maybe True Knight, but there's not anything you're gonna go out of your way to buy. Ooh, legendary
there's
sword.
the
That's an Illumina. Yep. Buy one of those. I think double checking a little bit, make sure those what they
doesn't already have one. Yeah. Finding some stuff to sell. Yep. Ooh, that is a Genji shield, I think. Yeah, there's a striker. There's a chocobo suit. Ooh, he picked up a hero ring.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, there's a flame sword. Yeah, Steve really does turn shopping into an adventure.
Yeah. There's learning and a behemoth suit. It looked like.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh no, sorry, that was.
That was a helmet.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was HP, not MP.
Yeah, I'm watching Turdsman, seeing if he's got anything juicy to equip there. I got a strike, just going with the striker. Okay, so we got morph and capture. I missed that earlier. I was so distracted by, hey, possess.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people use possess. Also, so it's equip is 100%, so you don't have to worry about like who can use the aluminum stuff. Because yeah, it'd be a bit unfortunate if Sauce was the only one that could equip those aluminums, but don't have to worry about that, thankfully.
Yeah, possess is a cool skill in that it's a huge trade-off, especially against a very powerful enemy. Because yeah, you get a kill at one-shot kill, but that whatever character does that, they don't get any experience.
Yeah, I remember doing a seed with possess, and I just like it was a Gauss start, so I mean normally you would do like Velcave and or not Velcave, but Velt and Serpent Trench. But I just like faded that to possess like Oppa Dragon, possess like Tritalk, and just get all my levels there, and then wound up being Serpent Trench gated, so that didn't pay off, but in the long run. But it definitely paid off early with all the levels I got from just
Yeah.
killing bosses instantly.
And a nice thing about having possess and Pock is you can be very, very aggressive with your checks because you don't have to worry about normally like boss locked checks like Elite River or something like that. You don't have to worry about the box at the end because you have an emergency button if it's Magimaster.
Yep.
Looking at the magic. Oh, this is all Steve.
Yep. Yeah, I always look at the magic descriptions, which that probably wastes more time, but it's nice if you like find an Ultima or whatever.
Yeah, the one gimme you have is that Steve 2 and Steve 3 exist rather than just calling them Steve. So I tend to speed Esper just by looking for the 2s and the 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic is just obnoxious enough in Steve that you tend to want to go towards physical damage if you can, which is again a good lesson because physical damage is faster anyway.
Yeah, I'll be interesting. I don't think they looked at what the Esper had, so yeah, it's probably just gonna wing it. And if they get something that seems like it's good, then
yeah, and you can do some of that. Yeah. You can do some of that checking while you're in battle too. You know, you have a black because we removed all of the lowest level magics in this seed and all of the support magic that nobody ever uses. All those are gone. So if you see something in the menu, odds are it's something worth using. Now, you may not know exactly what it does, but you can get a little bit of contextual information by just selecting it and see what it targets. If it targets everybody, you're looking at Burton or Whirlwind. But if it's just the enemy, then even if there's not a 2 after it, you're probably looking at either Ultima, X-Zone, or Flare. Mm-hmm. Or did I remove? I can't remember if I removed Meteor. I think Meteor is gone, so I don't think you have to worry about that one. All right, we are starting with Floating Continent at Turdsman, and Sigil is going into the Crypt. I like this from Turdsman especially because again, you've got Possess. You don't have to necessarily worry about getting stuck here, and except that this is a terrifying fight. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be fighting this.
Yeah, I would get out of this fight immediately.
Yeah, this is horrifying.
Kills,
but...
Steve's, yep. That's probably gonna be a reset at this point.
Yeah,
yep.
That's bad. That is a horrifying fight.
Nice. Sigil also reset to the Brontosaur, I think, or
yeah, that was Brontar. A Brontar or Brachiosaur, one of the big thing that's normally in Dragon Forest.
Sigil deciding to just take levels. I think I was intrigued by their play to go to Daryl's tomb because I was wondering if they were just gonna possess the boss and be done with it. But it is a bit risky because you could run into something like Stooges where it's more than one boss. You can't possess only gets rid of one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
That wouldn't be very useful, but which is why I like the
I think Stooges is really one of the only problematic bosses at this point. But if you get 10 levels, they're not that bad before you've put any scaling. Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing stuff at 3, but he's going back.
We got a opera play here. That is cool. Mm-hmm. Trying to get the fixed encounters. Hopefully it's something that he can blow through. Oh, wow. Double opera.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I would just take the risk and do World of Ruin Opera House and just get the dragon, get the levels, and like, okay, yeah, Salsa's at level 3, but I don't care that much. Like, yeah, I'll deal with that issue later.
Yeah, and I agree with that, mostly because, again, the loot pool here for dead checks is so rich and rewarding that just bringing down a dragon, even if you have to possess it, is going to pay off. because in this flag set, all dead checks are either an Illumina, a Paladin Shield, a
Snow
Illumina
Muffler, I
Paladin.
think, is the shield.
Yep,
Or
Snow
the
Muffler.
armor.
Yeah, Snow Muffler and an EXP egg. So you're gonna get
Yeah.
something good. On top of like all the levels and stuff too. So you are incentivized to go after a dead check or two if you can make it happen.
Again, very not fun fight here.
So these are some rude fights. Yeah, Turdsman resetting out of there.
We'll see if
I
Sigil
told
winds up
them-
doing the same, but
I told them because I said like, I can roll the seed if you want, but it'll be cursed, and I'm delivering on that. Possess and all the grind fights are horrible. I see Sigil here doing a little bit of item sorting in his inventory. That's actually a really good thing to do in Steve, is to get your items in a very specific order in your inventory, because when you go into item in battle, you don't get any descriptions in there. So if you sort them in your menu, in your main menu, you do get to see the item descriptions, so you can put them in a way where you'll just remember, hey, I've got, let's say, elixirs on top or something, or Phoenix Downs on top. So you set your items all in a very specific order, and if you do it the same way every time, eventually you don't need to think about it.
Turdsman also going to Daryl's and finding out what Sigil found out later.
Yeah, this
like
is
Sigil also
extra
reset
cursed.
and decided to just take grind fights outside somewhere.
Yeah, he hit that really nasty grind fight that Turdsman reset out of.
Yep. So they're both having the same issues.
I can't wait to hear them after this on this
Yeah.
selection of fights.
Yeah. Talk to them about this and how to use possess effectively.
All right, so I think Sigil here finally found a decent
Yeah.
enough fight. Oh wow, that's a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Yeah, that
experience
gets him
in
11,
this, the experience in this flag set has been boosted a little bit, but not that much. That must have just been a juicier fight than I thought it was.
Yeah. And we got some annoying. What those Telstars are? I think they're like the Enoch or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
I'm bad with names, but
Yeah, I believe those are. Yeah, I think those are Enoch.
Ooh, they confuse.
Yeah, that's the nasty
clearly
thing
not
that
good.
they do.
Yeah.
Ooh,
This is
that's not good.
very nasty. Oh well, that got him
Alright,
confused at least.
That solved itself.
I don't think he found the Illuminas, so he doesn't have to worry about them killing themselves. But on the other hand, it means he's lacking on a lot of damage that Sigil has.
Yeah, though he does have the Turdsman does have the Paladin shield, so as long as they just do that to Shadow there, or sorry, Steve there, it's at least not terribly dangerous as long as he doesn't get confused. Yeah, gonna go looking somewhere else for a grind fight.
Yeah, Sigil gonna try out M-Tech.
Yeah,
now
I
that he
like
has 2
M-Tech
levels.
here. Lots of leveling potential, and again, he's got Possess in hand, so if he wants to take it all the way, it's not super dangerous as long as he doesn't hit like Doom Gaze on the first fight.
The one downside with these multi check things with Possess is if you can't really use it for the first fight unless you want to go 2 characters for the rest of the way there. So I mean, I guess you could warp out and like redo it, but that seems like a bit of waste time. You probably wouldn't come back if you're gonna warp out. Yeah, Turdsman also making the same decision and choosing to come here, and after they take this fight, that will give them a free heal once they kill this, if they're able to kill
Ooh,
this.
Hoover.
Ooh, he's possessing this. That's not a great sign, but looking for something in their items.
Maybe hoping they've got a rod.
Maybe.
Oh, it's gonna reset out of there.
Oh yeah, what was the boss item? I missed what Sigil was doing. Getting through Hoover. Yeah, this has been not a fun start for either of them. Nope, Sigil rolled up the wrong save, so he's resetting again.
All right, got through her. That'll be a ton of experience right there.
Yep, and
Yeah.
we'll get a free heal out of it as well.
All right.
Now we'll see them take on whatever Sigil decide to nope out of.
That was Tritalk. So he does-
Tritalk, yeah.
We'll have to see
Nope.
if Turdsman decides to possess it or try to struggle bust through. I don't know if Turdsman has something to take out Tritalk, but I mean, other than possess.
Yeah, and I mean, I would consider possessing it. I mean, you could see if the second boss is easy enough to do it with 2 characters. Oh, apparently they forgot to put their Moogle Charm on, or they intentionally did not put their Moogle Charm on. But I think, I mean, it's not a terrible play to warp out of M-Tech with having only done the first 2 checks. So, I mean, you still have Floating Continent for the character, hopefully you don't have to come back for...
Yeah, for MTech 3.
Yeah, but it's pretty unlikely that that's the case. Yeah,
So, yeah, we can see
there you go.
Sigil actually ran away from that first fight going up to Floating Continent, so he's making a pass. And there's a much nicer fight beyond that, the ninja fight.
Yeah, hopefully that will be their third fight as well, because I believe it's a coin flip between... The third fight's a coin flip between either the first encounter or the second encounter, so...
Yeah, something like that. I know that it'll be the same for all players, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's just a straight up 50-50. All right, let's see. Although, again, if he can get away from it, that doesn't help. Oh god,
Nope.
it is the same. Nope, run. Putting the warp stone or smoke bombs in the second spot there so that he knows what to use and gets away.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how rude this boss is.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too bad. They've run into
It's been
enough annoying stuff as it is.
It's been cursed enough already. We don't need to hope for
Yeah.
like Magimaster here or something. Although getting it out of the way, I guess, would be nice. Although in this one, because Magimaster and number 32 look exactly the same, you never. That's always a heart-stopping moment until he does something.
Yeah, I think there's like slight differences. Like I think Magimaster has like more gold on them or something, but I forget. They're definitely pretty hard to tell if you don't have it like memorized the sprites.
Yeah, I just know that like was it 028 and or 128 and Inferno are different colors, so those are much easier.
Yeah. But thankfully, a much easier boss than Magimaster, so
Yeah,
hopefully they'll get through
given
this.
given the levels that he's put on, this should not be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Rocking the Bolt 3 too. All right, looks like Turdsman is going to instead warp out of MTech 2. I didn't actually see what the boss was at MTech 2 there, but apparently it was bad enough that he's going, nope, going somewhere else. Going back into Tomb. Yeah, I don't think we saw either of them go all the way to the end of Tomb. They just hit a bad grind
No.
fight and went out.
Yeah, now that they
Still
have
looking
some levels, they'll probably leave the Moogle Charm on and just go fight the boss.
Yeah. At this point, their scaling is still pretty low.
Ooh, Phantom Steve.
And I believe in this flag set too, not that it's as helpful, but I'm pretty sure Undead Bosses is on, so you can try to revivify them if you know where they are. And that's mostly because the base I use to construct the seed is from Moogle Cup. So most of the Moogle Cup settings I either made more powerful or I just left.
Someone forgot to put their Moogle Charm on.
Or
Or
got
forgot to
jumped
take
by
it
a bunch of Steve.
Yep. Looks like he's just choosing to revivify them since
He knows where it is.
he's right there,
Yeah, having really good item management in Steve is really, really helpful in this kind of situation. All right, let's see. Is there going to be Steve at this pedestal check?
Yeah, I don't think they've done Daryl's with this on. I assume it just replaces it with Steve, but because I know
Uh,
like normally when
it,
you
it,
pick it.
so because it's outside of a menu, it does
Yeah.
tell you what's there. So
Oh,
it'll be
okay.
Muhammad Esper. But when in the menu, it'll be Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
Steve's a little bit of black magic behind the scenes. It's one
Yeah.
of those things that playing it that it just hasn't been looked into to fix those little idiosyncrasies.
Nice. So is that our first check fully cleared? That's like an actual check, not a free check.
I think it is, although we're already at 3-3, so even so, they're moving
Yeah.
right along towards that. Because again, we were at only need 5 and 8 for this seed, so it's oh, there's the cheap one, so that puts Turdsman at 3 and 4. Still looking for that first character. I think Sigil's got a good chance of it here being at the end of Floating Continent, given what checks are still on the board.
Yeah. After that, I don't know. It's basically just Velt Cave left, and well, I guess Opera House. They could go back there.
Yeah, I was going to say neither of them made it all the way through Opera, so it could be Opera House gated.
Yeah. Or it could be going back to MTech with
Yeah, that could be
hopefully some
MTech.
better magic.
Yeah, it could be MTech 3. So a lot of places that first character can be, and of course there could be multiple in there. That kind of goes back to a Worlds Collide, like I want to say vanilla Worlds Collide, a not Steve Worlds Collide. It still uses the same logic where your seeds will tend to be deeper than they are wide. So once you find that first character, that's where you're looking for your second character at is in their checks.
Now we did see a haste 2, which I do have a bug to report that's not correctly labeled as Steve 2. It's very very annoying.
Oh, it actually labels it as haste? I
Sigil.
did not know that.
No, it just labels it as Steve. The 2 got removed.
Oh, the 2 got removed? That I did not.
Yeah.
I'm rarely down in the support magic, so I did not even see that. Okay, so we just got Ultros here on Atma spot, so not too bad. Oh, we got a sniper thrower going. That's cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they bought that or they just noticed it from a thing they picked up. But yeah, good on Sigil. Ooh,
EXP
that's
egg.
good.
That's going right on Steve.
Yep.
All right, let's see where Turdsman's heading next. Doing Floating Continent, or maybe going back to landing. Oh, probably landing to save and then going up to Floating Continent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Sigil going to close out Floating Continent here, and we'll see if this just happens to be our first character.
Yeah, hopefully for them this is their first character, or it's
It would feel so bad if it was at either Opera or MTech 3.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you were them, I mean, I guess, and this isn't a character, would you? I'd probably do Velt Cave next, I think, because it's like the only one you haven't gone into yet.
Yeah, and it's peekable too, so I'd say right outside of Velt Cave and just run it. Ooh, Turdsman's thinking about taking this fight. I disagree,
Yeah,
but maybe he hasn't set up his inventory to know where his warp stones are.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Yeah, I've run into this fight even high leveled. It's very very difficult to take down.
Yeah, this is a terrifying fight. Yeah, the first chaos. No, it was a showcase right when they had released mixing Mayabs into all chests. I checked the first chest in the South Figaro basement in the cells below where you would normally get Celsus check. First chest in there was this fight, and it killed me, and I hadn't saved yet.
I have a better story. The first time I ever ran into this enemy, I was in MTech, and it was the MTech 2 and MTech 3 fight, or the second third fight, and then the boss immediately after that was Magic Master.
Yikes. Ooh, and it's not a character at the end of Floating Continent. Yeah. Oof. All right, let's see where Sigil decides to go. Are we going to Velt Cave? Are we thinking? He's gonna do MTech. Okay. Bold, but more power now and got a bunch of spells. So I don't disagree with this.
Yeah, hopefully they have
Turdsman.
fire. Yeah.
Just run from this fight. Just get away.
Oh, they have damages multiple enemies. I believe that is Ultima. So I think the only other thing that could be is Meteor, but if Meteor's gone, then that's definitely an Ultima.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I removed Meteor because it's just worse Ultima.
Hmm.
It's
Nope, they're going somewhere. Oh, they're doing Kafka at Narsh. Yeah, I guess that's another possibility
Oh yeah,
that I forgot about.
that's a cool move. It gets that you can save here and just reload if it's not a character. It gets that right off the plate.
Yep.
Because it always feels bad saving that for your last check. Oh, if this is Kef getting Narsh gated, I am never going to hear the end of it.
Yeah, I think I would wait on Kafka and Narsh a little bit just because it's really annoying to do with two characters. I mean, I guess you could possess it, but
Yeah.
we haven't seen a possess come out yet, so I assume we're probably not going to see it till tier 4. That's probably what we'll save it for. But
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is technically peekable, so you know if you have to do it. So I don't disagree with this. I think I would do Cave first, but again, this could be one of those things where it's just knowledge, and it could be that one thing that pays off and gets you the lead because nobody wants to do this with 3 characters.
yeah.
So this
also
is a
saw-
gamble move, but it could pay off big.
Yeah. We also saw a Mog locked behind Umaro if we ever get a Umaro, so that'll be good information.
Yep, nice peek there on the way up. So essentially getting a 2-for-1. Yeah, get out of there. All right, he's warp stoning. Perfect.
Steven, yep.
Oh yeah,
Nope, not a character.
So we're gonna reset out and then go somewhere else. We'll never have to come back there.
This is like Sigil's 7th reset or something at this point. This is like crazy.
He's already level 34.
Yeah, EXP helps. The EXP boost
EXP
definitely
egg
helps,
and a little bit higher, and the fact that we run into so much random high level nonsense.
yeah, and floating continent with all those fights definitely gives you a ton of EXP. Oh,
Nope,
yep,
gotta
so they're
walk over.
walking to Mtech.
Yeah, I could only imagine being in this situation and thinking, oh, did the runner find the not cursed route through all this nonsense? And it's just bad everywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, if that was indeed Ultima, then he's got an easy way past Tritalk, so that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the MTech 2 boss was. I think Turdsman saw it, but I was looking at what Sigil was doing at the time.
Yeah, but as we get through this very slow conveyor ride back to the Tritalk fight, what's your guess for MTech 2?
Given what we've seen so far, I'm thinking Inferno. I think there was probably Inferno there or something. I don't know if we saw Inferno anywhere else.
What about for where our 4th character will be? Where do you think we're gonna?
Boy, if I were mean, I would say at the end of Opera, but I'm going to be nice and say it's going to be MTech 3, just because we've got somebody there.
Yeah.
So he's got 60 MP all hit. And we've got original magic, so that's probably Ultima.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah, okay. So easy button
Yeah.
for this fight. All right, Steve goes down.
I need to also pay better attention to what Esper's people have. I don't think we've seen any columnist protection yet, or any sort of mute or anything like that.
I think I might have saw. It was
I
either
think I saw
Cure.
Odin.
I think I might have seen Life 3, but it might have been Cure 3. I think that was on
Yeah, it was
Turdsman's side.
some healing 3.
Yeah.
Don't know which though.
Shield shuffling to get that force shield onto somebody.
Yep. No clue what those shields are. I do not have those stats memorized.
When you have, there was one that had low physical defense and really high magic block, so that was the force shield.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was shifting that onto a back row character to get the paladin shield on his melee attacker.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think was what was happening. All
Yeah,
right,
of
let's
course
see
they
what
got
it
that
is.
weapon.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
Steve.
Steve. Ooh,
Oh, it's
ammo
regular
weapon.
Atma. Okay.
Yep.
Or Atma weapon, yeah. Not toilet Atma, so
Mhm.
you can basically attack this with anything. I think the only thing Steve absorbs is like water or something weird like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
that's not
ooh,
nice.
you don't want that on Steve there. That's bad.
And we got Steve, quarter, I guess. No, thankfully killed before Sauce could do anything stupid.
Yeah, I hate that confusion coming out right as you queue up Ultimo or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that happen on tier 2. I got confused I got zombied as I queued up life 3, and at life 3 Tiger. That was not fun.
Yeah, there was I can't remember who it was, but there was a really spicy confusion chain that was posted in the Discord of like a confuse going into using what was it, Sound Blaster on the entire or Noise Blaster on the entire party.
That's pretty good.
All right, we're about to go for the Steve ride.
Yep. Hopefully we'll run into better enemies than what I ran into that one time.
Yep. Well, fortunately, the Madam Covert. Well, no, we got the ninja fight out of the pool, but Madam Covert is still in the pool.
Alright.
It's actually what? It's not actually Madam. I always call it Madam. It's like Slam Dancer Covert. Well,
Oh, yeah, Katana Soul. Interesting.
I don't know if there's any. I know that that model was left in, but I don't know that I've seen too much looking at what the support skills are. Although with this much damage, I don't think Katana Soul's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
All right, well
Killing
now,
much easier than traffic.
now offering shenanigans could technically be on the table. I don't think Sigil really needs offering for anything. Well, no, he does
I
have
mean,
that.
he has the sniper.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has
So
the
it's
sniper.
offering.
Sniper offering against Final Kafka is actually pretty legitimate.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not as. You'd rather have an Atma or a BK, but it's better than nothing unless you're gonna be magicking the whole time.
Or the rare situation where you put on just so many levels that VK or that offering Illumina actually makes sense because it breaks the damage cap.
Mhm.
I think I've had that all of twice in the last couple of years.
Yeah, you do get the one upside of no procs, which can be very nice because the procs are very time consuming.
Yep. And yeah, it also lets you deal with some things like Goddess without having to really worry too much about it. All right, so we have Steve here.
Senor
not-
Steve.
Senior Steve. Strontium Steve. This is not a terrible fight. This will be pretty easy as long as you don't get too many procs. That's the fun thing about Steve there is that if you proc an Illumina on the first one, he can counter with some pretty nasty stuff. Because it's, I think, Pearl Elemental and Flare, and I think anything that's considered non-elemental, he can counter with flares and quasars and Grand Train and all that fun nonsense.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
Yeah, I learned that one because he was acting really, really spicy because I was using a rag and it kept proccing, and I was like, why am I getting so many of these really nasty counters? And I think it was the Schwantz who's like, yeah, so in the script, if you hit him with Flare, he counters with some really, really high-level non-elemental spells. And it all made sense. All right, where are you going, Turdsman? Oh, he's going to do Cave. Okay.
Yep.
We haven't seen this yet.
Oh, that's a Sabin at
Oh.
MTech 3, so
MTech
there's
3,
our
awesome.
4th character finally.
All right, and that's actually a great character to pick up as your number 4 because he's got lots of fast, easy checks that are all real close together.
Yeah, so we'll probably see a bunch of Sabin checks, and then hopefully that will get them pretty close to Kefka unlock, since you only need 5 aids, so it's
Yep. There
one less of
are
each.
5 Sabin checks. 4 of them. Yeah, 3 of them are really close together. The 4th one is not that far away, but technically, I guess the other 2, if you consider going across worlds to be not that far from each other, is those 2 are clustered together too. But I'd probably hit all 5 of Sabin's like just back to back.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, those are basically the only fast checks you have outside of Felt Cave for Sigil.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll
And this
probably
one here,
check.
this is a good one to start with because it is peekable. You walk in here, if it's not a character, you can decide, am I going to do that? I probably would
Although-
because it's just so fast.
I hope they saved before. Yeah, I think they saved before switching, so that
Oh, a little shopping, get some more Steve. Oh, there's
yeah,
some sleeping
tents
bags.
or sleeping bags. Yeah.
Oh.
Did I stay home buy a third Illumina, or was it? I thought
Was
it was
that
in
here?
World of Balance.
Oh yeah, it
I
is here.
guess it
Yep.
was World of Ruin.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, picking up enough. Yep, that's good for a good whole day strats there at the end, especially if since there is 100% equip here, so Sabin can wield that, and with his really high vigor, that's just a really good pick. That's just a really good build for him right off the bat.
I'm
Sigil,
surprised.
I
Would you
don't
still
think.
be?
I was
Sorry.
gonna say I don't think you need to be picking up any more chests there, Sigil.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Like, I think in Steve in particular, since you don't know if it's good or not, it's like
Yeah,
the
the
chances
chests
of
have
even gold luck is
has a
pretty
fairly high randomness, so your chances of picking up something decent is okay. But I mean, you've got 3 Illuminas in hand. I would just be in go mode.
Yeah, and I mean, if you do pick up like I don't know, an Atma weapon or something, you're gonna have to like look and see that you picked it up, which is gonna
Yeah.
be probably.
Yeah, although maybe he's feeling not so great about his defenses.
Mm.
'Cause I think he's got 1 Paladin shield. I don't think he picked up the second one because I think Turdsman has 2.
I thought it might maybe it was on Tersman's side, but I definitely saw a Behemoth suit, and then he picked up a second from the fight, so
Okay.
um, should have
Yep.
somewhat decent armor, but
Yeah, Behemoth suit is definitely a good endgame armor. Although Sigil did also have the Minerva, so there should be plenty of defense there. Ooh, I'm surprised that
Uh,
Sigil isn't. I guess he knows that he's got 3 to 4 checks over here. I was gonna say you might want to check the skies, but no, this is actually better. Get that 5th character and then start hunting Espers.
yeah, starting with Phantom Train is a bit interesting because Phantom Train you get the check at the start, but it's very long, so I think I'd rather like I don't know, get some of my other things out of the way just in case like I don't know if this is a character and Baron Falls is also a character, I'd rather just do Baron Falls first and like then I don't have to sit through all of Phantom Train.
Yeah, I could take this one either way. Given how rude this seat has been, I would maybe do Phantom Train just expecting that this is where my character is going to be and that the others are going to be Espers or dead. Generally, you get a feel for when a seat is just going to be like that to you, and you're like, all right, let's go and do some of the dumb checks because they're going to have stuff. Oop, nope, not that way, Sigil.
Yes.
Ooh, that isn't. Oh, so I missed it, but yeah, there was Strago was in Velt Cave.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So Turdsman is going to peek Fnatic's tower here, which is a great peek. Okay, there's Starlit on the train. Looks like Sigil's going to keep it.
Yeah, it makes sense. You still need Espers, so it's
Yeah, it's still progression, and this is one of those checks that feels longer than it actually is. It's just normally it's dangerous because you have to do all this walking, and then there's there's Edgar at Fnatic's tower. Like again, there's all this walking, and then you have the boss right at the end. And if it's something really nasty, you basically lose all that time. But you have Possessed, so the only thing that might be problematic would be Stooges. But there's so much damage online here that there's really nothing that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about anything except I guess getting mathed by Doomgaze. That's about all.
And I think because he's got the EXP eggs on, you don't really even have to worry about that so much. I mean, it would be annoying, but not catastrophic.
Yeah, I think I don't think they've gone berserk, so Magic Master would also be pretty annoying, but I think they could have enough damage that's and they have Ultima, so it's pretty doable.
Yeah, with Ultima Online, it wouldn't be. I mean, as you say, it'll be kind of annoying because it's going to take 4 Ultimas probably at this. Excuse me, 4 Ultimas at this point, maybe 3 Ultimas, but just a little bit extra animation, but not really dangerous. Especially with the Paladin's shield, like most of what most of what Magimaster can do is all elemental, so if you're rocking a Paladin shield, the only thing you have to really worry about is Doom. You've got such a high M block that it's not really that likely to be hit by it in the first place.
Let me see. I believe that's our first dragon that anyone's decided to take down, because I don't think either
I
person
think
did
somebody
top row.
grabbed a dragon doing Mount Zozo, right?
No, we couldn't have done Mount Zozo, so we don't have
Oh.
Cyan. Or
I must be thinking. No, I'm thinking about. I was watching Morkins beforehand. I'm getting seed bleeding. I'm not even playing. All right, we got Steve here. We're waiting for Steve to turn into Steve, and then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, we're being chased by a painting right now.
Feels like the old Pepe Le Pews where you're running at high speed and you just kind of lopping along behind you. All right. So we got Steve in the chest up here.
Nice. Unfortunately, that we won't. We can't figure out what that is, but that is guaranteed to be.
It looked like it was EXP egg.
An egg, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, by this point, you're getting diminishing returns and finding EXP eggs.
Yeah.
All right, giving Steve the business over there on Sigil's side. Yeah, this is not that dangerous of a boss to hit here. Annoying at worst. I mean, I suppose Charm could have gotten up to some pretty awful mischief if you misplayed it, but that's not too likely.
Yeah, hopefully this will be an easy boss here at in the Fanatics.
Let's see what we got. Got Steve. Ooh,
Guardian.
Not too bad. They got Steve 3.
Yeah. Or they're just gonna use Steve.
Yeah. Get that big old Steve bubble out there.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing Imp Camp next.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's another pretty fast check. It's peekable. Although, I mean, you can't know if it's Esper or not, but
yeah.
So
saving falls for last is nice too, because you're going to get that free heal. So that's it's routing with the mindfulness towards, okay, well, once I'm done with all these checks, I'm going to be full fresh and I can just move on to whatever's next without having to worry about my party.
Be interesting to see if they do Colts. Colts is also sort of a check that gets a bit hated on because it's Sabin's slower checks, but it's still a pretty fast check. It's like I think like a minute 5 seconds to get to the boss.
Okay, resetting out because it's not a character. Cool. Yeah, I actually am a big fan of Colts. I used to be in the party on the camp of Colts is awful. But the only reason I thought it was awful is because all the doors don't seem to face the correct direction when you're doing transitions. Once you get the muscle memory to do those, Colts like in full stride mode, like it feels real good to pull off all the door transitions correctly. So I now really like Colts just because I can feel like I know what I'm doing.
Yep, and we're gonna see Sigil find his 5th character once he gets through all this.
Yeah, he's gonna be really happy to see that. That just means you got to do some Esper hunting next. Turdsman coming all the way back down, doing the clockwise.
One day I will do this entire tower without like messing up once. That is my lifelong Worlds Collide goal.
I think I've done it once or twice in regular mode. My goal now is to do it with B dash.
Oh yeah,
I've come nowhere close to B dashing that perfectly. I have perfectly B dashed the stairs going up to MTech 2. That felt good.
It's funny. I for some reason I have a ton of problem with those stairs with B dash on. But I guess because you can overshoot them. But
yeah, it's kind of wouldn't say it's frame perfect, but there's it feels like there's maybe like 3 frames where you can make the turn properly. Otherwise, you overshoot and just bonk. All right, well, here's a really easy boss. Oh, that's right. We've seen this boss before. It's like we had really easy boss. Yes, this was the cave. All right, so we've got Edgar on Turdsman's side. He just needs Espers. I wonder if he's going to try to do Edgar's checks or if he's going to go back and do earlier checks that he hasn't done yet. Oh, Search the Skies. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think assuming this is an Esper, I'd probably just check Throne Room. I don't think I would bother with.
I might park it in World of Balance and check Throne.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Check the Throne. Yeah.
But otherwise,
I don't think I would do Engine Room.
Engine. I might, because you can peek Engine Room and know right away if it's going to be a character or not. You peek Engine Room if it's not a character, take it all the way, and then you can do Throne right after.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh,
Okay.
well, it is an Esper, so
Just needs one more. You know, we might see an auction play.
actually,
What's he gonna
they
do?
never went back to MTech. They could go back there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
two
that's right.
chances.
Oh,
They're
gonna go up.
doing Tritalk. Makes sense.
All right, Tritalk spot. Cool.
Get that heal, and then you'll know. Hopefully, it won't be dead, but can't be a character, so increases the odds a little bit at least.
Be interested to see if he takes the dragon on the way through.
I'd assume so. I mean, it's
with all the
EX,
with all the EXP eggs flying around, you might be feeling pretty good on levels. It might be one of those things where you drive by and a dragon gets you, you don't feel too bad about it. But I guess we'll see. I mean, it's probably like what, a 10-second fight at this point, so it's probably nothing lost, just going for it.
Yeah, I think the actual levels probably still save a bit more time than you lose fighting the dragon. Especially since you said it's based off Moogle Cup, so I assume they don't increase scaling. So nope, they're skipping it.
Running right past it. Okay, that's legitimate. I would have considered skipping it too. Especially if you're thinking of maybe you're going to reset out of this if it's an item.
Yeah, true. Although, I mean, they still have warp stones, I assume, so you're not gonna know it's an item until after. But
right, that's true.
So
Ooh. This I think is Magimaster. Nope. This is what's the number? 032.
24. Yeah.
24, 32, whatever.
Steve. Some number. Yeah. It should keep the number. It should be Steve 24, like how.
that would reduce the amount of oh crap of running into this fight, but at the same time it would also be hilarious.
Oh look, apparently Sigil has gotten all their stuff, so they are going into KT now. And we'll
awesome.
See if,
first
that should be Turdsman's 8th, so.
Nope, I think is that Turdsman 8th or Turdsman 7th? Nope, that is his 8th. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Turdsman's gonna be right behind him then. Good.
Ooh, last warp stone, thankfully.
Yep, so we'll be dropping into KT here to head of the 1 hour, which generally speaking with this flag set, I find that you're going to be, as long as this isn't like your first rodeo with Steve, you're going to be dropping into KT sometime between the 45 and like 55 time frame seems to be pretty common. If you're new to Steve, it might be a little bit longer just because you're getting used to it, which again, that's kind of the whole point of this flag set is not too difficult. I think at the worst case, you might take like an hour 30 at this kind of seed as long as you're familiar with like Moogle Cup or Ultras League.
Yeah, we see shuffled statues is on apparently because we run into Goddess. Oh, I think that's the Guardian spot. So
yeah, so Goddess was just moving up a little bit.
Shuffled, yeah.
What is that? That is cappuccino vanilla. Yeah, we got what, mid-high 40s I think on Sigil side. I just saw quick when you menued.
Ooh, nice Steve. It's a validation chest.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll never know what that actually was, but
well, it wasn't empty, so that's there's the ones we've been talking about the whole time. There's our trio.
Yeah, this is definitely not a fun fight you want to see in KT, although with the power they have, this should still be pretty easy. You have only 315 HP left.
Wow, almost one shot Curly up there.
But yeah, if you don't have great offense and all three are still alive, they can petrify you, which can be very, very bad if you only got one person there. Or,
they also have some really, really high chance of countering with some pretty nasty stuff. But they say they've so much power right now that Sigil just waltzes right on through the three.
Yeah, another fight that I'm pretty sure we haven't seen yet that is very not fun is Tentacles, because I did a Need for Seed recently, and I ran into that in my solo lane, because you only need 5 characters to get in here, which is nice because it's faster, but it's also not nice because that means one of your characters is just going to be on their own. And yeah, if you run into Tentacles, that can be a bit annoying. Thankfully, I one-shot them with Ultima, so hopefully they have run into that.
And Tentacles isn't dangerous, they're just a big time loss.
Yeah, but 1v4 is very annoying if you can't like get them down very quickly, because they'll slow you and then grab you, and it'll it'll be so much time loss. Not fun. Don't recommend.
All right, let's see here. What's that right statue? The biggest troll statue, and it's Steve. Oh.
Steve and Steve.
Yeah, I think this is the Zero Steve fight.
Yep. Well, I mean, you have so much experience at this point that it's...
Yeah, you don't really need it.
Oh, nice hit with whatever one that is.
Yeah, that was probably like, I don't think he put that, but Strego on his team, so I think he starts with the Mithril Rod.
Oh, yeah, Mithril Rod, yep. Makes sense.
All right, looks like Sigil's still got about one boss ahead, but it's close. This could come all down to how well Tier 2 behaves.
Yeah, Tier 2 always the most annoying, because it can be super clean, or it can just be muddle zombie, die.
Yeah.
Freeze. Freeze. Freeze is also annoying.
Yeah, Tier 2 can just sometimes decide, nope, you're not going to have a good time.
Now we got a Genji Glove if they want to pivot to dual wielding Luminas on anyone at the last moment, but probably not. Yeah,
that's where you got to really weigh, like, is it worth the extra menu time at this point to try to pick it out and then figure out where your swords are? Yeah, probably not. This can be a little bit terrifying fight right here. This isn't the... Okay. This is not the worst fight here, but this is up there because I believe both of them can do some really nasty stuff with like level magics, and I think both of them can blaster.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the well, they all die to one Ultima, but
yeah.
Yes, those aren't the worst ones. Ogres, because they can zombie you. They do it pretty frequently, and also duelers, I think, are the ones that nail level 5 Doom and level 4 Flare.
Yep,
those are annoying too, but
yeah, I think you're right.
I forget what those ones are called.
Fortis, I believe.
Fortis are the other mech ones, I think.
Are they?
The other walking ones, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't remember what those are.
But whatever they are, they're bad.
Yeah.
They're Steve.
Yeah.
They're Steve.
They're Steve.
But fortunately, one Ultima is all you need there.
Quest is Sky Captains, he believes, is what their name is.
Yeah. Yeah, Sky Captains, I think, can blaster. That fight didn't last long enough to really do any mischief, though.
Oh, yeah. Sigil finally figuring out where those earrings are and putting them back on.
Doing his last little bit of equip.
Yep.
Yeah, these... I will say Steve is one of the types of flags that I will most often just go into KT with Moogle Charms on people, because I don't want to deal with it.
And we did see him put on the Genji Glove, so
all right.
Yes, I must have missed him taking off the Illumina. Yeah, took the Illumina off, Celis put earrings on her, and went Genji Glove, Hero Ring on Shadow.
Yeah, and I was looking at Turdsman's side. I didn't see if he put the offering on for that sniper.
Yeah, I missed that.
Well, we'll see. If Celis attacks, it'll be pretty obvious. Yep, so on Turdsman's side, we saw I don't know what this character has for relics, so I have to take both of them off so that I can put on what I need. All right, not that one.
I don't want to do that one. I believe that's Merton.
Yeah, because Whirlwind was taken out, so that would have been Merton. Although if he's got the Paladin shield equipped, that wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah, so he's because of all the menuing from Sigil, he's actually caught up a pretty decent bit. We'll see if he menus as much, or he's just gonna leave it.
Yeah, if he goes of the I'm good enough, I'm just gonna go. Oh, okay, do a little bit of gonna do a little bit of Esper shuffle.
And you're just looking at magic, I guess, to see if there's anything.
Seeing what he had. All right, just gonna leave whatever's on Shadow and just go.
Oh, apparently, Sabin has a heal rod on because he whacked the head and it healed. It's like, let's put the highest base attack power thing on. Oh, it heals apparently.
We're gonna see a lot of blue bubbles coming out. I feel because that's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. So
okay.
Sabin is yeah, I guess
I
maybe.
see. Didn't
Yeah.
feel like he had a really good healing solution. That's actually a cool strategy.
Yep. Yeah, hero doesn't get much love because it heals, but if you don't have any good healing options, is whacking someone in the face, whacking one of your teammates in the face with it is pretty useful. Yeah, I think they didn't put the offering on because yeah, I think they're just using magic
Yeah,
on Celis, so
which is
probably
fair.
just put
Celis is
another earring
probably
on.
doing
Yep.
more damage with Ultima anyway.
Yep.
No damage cap, but I mean, you got so much power, it's not that big a deal. Plus, you got Shadow up there, damage cap busting with the dual Luminas anyway.
And Turdsman enters just slightly under a tier behind, so still some time left to catch this back up. We'll see if
Yeah,
much faster their tier 1 goes.
It'll all come down to how well behaved tier 2 is. Ooh.
Did they? Because I don't think they had Struggle in their party normally. Did they do their thing wrong and they're just getting him killed?
Maybe.
So
yeah, maybe they just hit start and were like, "Oops, I didn't want that character."
Yeah, because I mean, I haven't
Not
been
trying to bring
paying
him
super
back
close
up,
attention.
so
Yeah. Ooh, jeez, that's a lot of damage. They clearly do not have as good of an armor situation as Sigil does.
Yeah, moving Edgar back there. Definitely don't want to be taking that much damage to the face. Ooh. So yeah,
Very
so
fun
it was Turdsman that I saw who had life 3.
Mhm.
Pretty sure that's life 3.
Yeah.
It's in the right spot. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I don't think so. Oh, no, Sigil has Steve 3 also, unless it's Cure 3.
It might have been on an early one that I just remember catching a glimpse of it in menu.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting though that they for the most part took a different each of them took different branching paths, but only ended up one character different from each other.
Yep. Yeah, it was just MTech was basically the only thing they did differently. Sigil obviously going back there and Turdsman deciding, no thanks.
And fortunately for them both, both those characters led to additional characters because it would have sucked if one of those had dead ended.
Yeah, and I guess also Sigil peaked Kefka and Arch. That was the other major difference. But yeah, they sort of did it in very different orders, but mostly got back to the same spot. Well, we see Sigil take out tier 2 with relative ease. I don't think we ever got mute. So yeah, we're just gonna murder things the old-fashioned way.
I don't think Turdsman is too far behind. Might have picked up a little bit of time. I think his ultimates are doing a little bit more damage. Ooh. Don't go down there, Edgar. Oh, I see. So, because he doesn't have mute, is going after spell first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, I guess they must have instant death. And, yeah, because, I mean, it's a bit sketchy leaving Tiger up because it's a Northern Cross. I mean, you're still ultimating it for damage, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tiger's most annoying stuff it can't really do till
its health is
till it's low. Yeah. And also, if you get magic down fast enough, it can't cast Muggle, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, so so Sigil apparently picked up Fenrir at some point. So that's huge. That'll make this much less threatening.
Yeah,
getting that calmness protection there.
Yeah, I assume that was on one of Sabin's checks. So that's definitely a big difference from.
Yeah, we'll have to. You'll have to see how much Turdsman decides to try to get life 3 up. All right, so Sigil pulling ahead with that good Fenrir.
Yep, and Yeah, very very clean tier 3 there by Sigil. So it's I think Sigil's pretty close to having this in the bag. Just needs to not do anything silly and
Yeah,
die
just
to
needs
Ultima.
Yeah, just needs to not push too hard and get it. Although with as much hit points as Shadow has, I think he could even tank an Ultima.
Yeah, it's more like if you get Gonered and then over Q and instantly get Ultima too, that would be bad. But I think with the amount of damage, that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he'll probably go straight into Goner phase with the amount of damage he's outputting. All right, so there's turrets moving on to tier 3.
I assume that's an X push or an elixir there being thrown on Celis.
I think that was an elixir.
Yeah.
And that was Sigil setting up his inventory much earlier in the seed and knowing exactly. I guess we're just gonna have some procs here. Thanks, Shadow.
Yeah. Well, that's extra damage. Oh, not bit on the slow side.
Oh, he's got quick.
Oh. Well, that was definitely very nice. I definitely missed that, but yep, that's
just heads up knowing that, hey, I've got quick. I've got it on my sword swinger. That Kefka's probably not even going to get a turn. Oh, I guess he is. Going to waste it with a regular attack, but he got a turn.
Yeah, this is a bit scary now because he's probably pretty close to ultimate range.
Yeah, although I think Shadows, this has got to be, I think, Crack Pow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. GG, Sigil. 105.26. All right, Turdsman coming in right behind him. So yeah, we got those life 3s coming out. He did not find any other columnist protection.
Yep. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, it's a bit on the slower side, but at least you'll survive, hopefully.
Let's see if we can get Sigil in here.
Yep.
Or
I guess, he decided against possessing tier 4, so he could have done that instantly. Forgot about that. We've gone through the whole seed and no one using possess. I guess it was gentleman's agreement here to not use possess.
All right,
maybe
should have Sigil coming into the booth here pretty soon. All right, there he is. Let me grab him on in here. How do I move to restreaming? There we go. Hey, GG, Sigil. Can you hear us, Sigil?
Or we can't hear you if you can.
Oops, I need to unmute myself.
There we are.
Steve goes burr.
I was gonna say, I told you I could roll something cursed. What would you think of that early game?
It's not revenge. It's not like revenge. For the cursed Moogle Cup seeds I rolled.
I think there might have been a little bit of that going around. I was like, they cannot find a grind fight that doesn't completely suck.
No.
And yeah, it was like was just imagining being in that situation, and we get the possess from Turdsman.
First possess.
Nice, GG's Turdsman.
Oh, that's what possess does.
Yep. Yeah, I was wondering because I think I had a possess practice seed earlier, and it was like the first thing I did was just possess Opera Dragon for levels, and I was wondering why neither of you guys decided to possess anything. So, yeah, any thoughts on that?
I didn't know what possess actually does.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So the ghosts on Phantom Train, they can take at the cost of losing your party member until you get back to the ship. You can instant kill anything, basically. Very nice.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Turdsman.
I wasn't going to use that for the whole game anyway, especially with Celeste having the plus magic Esper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GG's Turdsman.
Thank you very much. Yeah, GG's Sigil.
So we asked this of Sigil, so I'll ask you too. What do you think of that early game?
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, hey, life's a puzzle. It's just you got to unravel it. You got to take what comes at you with good humor, and make sure your mic isn't broadcasting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Phew.
we were watching both of you hit all those really like nasty fights, and I'm like, well, I promised them I'd roll them something cursed, and I think I delivered.
Yeah, you warned us. I mean, it's
But
in writing even.
yes, it was cursed at the beginning, but blessed with the Illuminous for sale.
Yeah. See, and that was what really got me is I stopped looking at shops earlier than I normally do because I wanted to be I wanted to be the original gangsta and just fly into the seed and try to like, no, I can do this. It's fine. I just got to get through one grind fight. If I get through one grind fight, I'll learn a bunch of spells. I'll have a ton of MP. Everything's gonna be fine. And I couldn't find that grind fight for the life of me. I think the funniest one, Sigil. Did you go to the Opera Disruption?
I tried to do Celeste's opera check.
Okay, all right, because that was the funniest one to me because it's like, oh hey, I found an undead enemy. This is great. I'll just use a Phoenix
Yes.
down. And, oh, okay, cool. It was all over. All right. Well, what's the next one?
Yes. I asked one question I have for you because I also asked it for Sigil. But did you ever think about just like possessing like a dragon just to start for like levels and stuff?
Oh
Or
yeah, that would have been the way to go. Well, I tried to possess something, and it didn't go, and I'm not sure why.
So
yes, I
possess
think it's
has
like
it's a 50% chance of
Ah,
hitting most things. So
yeah.
it's essentially a coin flip every time you use it.
okay, I did not realize that. But yeah, that would have been that would have been a very good idea because like Celeste can live without having. I mean, I wound up with 4 experience eggs by the end of it anyway. But
Yeah.
like Celeste could have lived without those first 10 levels. I just needed something. That would have been a very good idea.
Yeah.
Well, now,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would have
Now you
Spitting
been
guys
some of our
are
useful
teeth
on
out.
my that would have been useful for my first grind fight.
Mm.
yeah. I think when I did a possess seed, I think I possessed 3 of the first 4 bosses I fought. Because
Surprised to see it. I completely forgot about that thing.
Yeah, I had to put it back in the rotation in order to pull out some of the other obnoxious stuff because I basically pulled out all the abilities that could have like lots of menuing, like throw and rage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, rage would be worthless. So it's
yeah,
Yeah, rage is so rough in
dance.
Steve.
It's-
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever tried to use it.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. That's the next one. Now that we got Need for Steve, we got have Need for Steve 2 like reloaded, where it's just everybody has rage.
Yeah, nothing but rage, dance, throw, lore, all of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Menus galore.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much practicing you guys did for this. Hopefully a little bit, but I guess that's the thing I want to ask you guys both. I guess we'll go down to Sigil first. What do you think of Steve as a way to run Worlds Collide?
I'm not gonna lie, this is my second Steve seed. I just didn't have time to practice it during the week between SGL,
Yep.
but I really like it. It makes you know what your items do,
Yeah.
like the stats of them.
Yeah, earlier on we were giving Steve kind of a teaser to what Steve makes you do and
Yeah.
what you can like as a runner, how you can benefit from Steve, because it makes you think about the game more deliberately. And I think I think especially we saw you, Sigil, you ordered your inventory very early on, and I was like, that's the heads up play, because knowing exactly how your inventory lines up for consumables is huge, especially as you get towards the end game.
Yeah, I just have to remember which one was which. Besides Phoenix Downs, they're always first.
Yeah, absolutely. So how about you, Tersman? What do you take away from Steve? How do you feel about Steve?
I really like it in the context of this flag set where the finish line is a lot closer than it normally is. The 5-8 requirements makes it a lot more palatable. Like, I'm not sure, because I've seen some of you guys do like chaos seeds and stuff like that with Steve attached to it. I'm just like, okay, man, that's I don't know about all that, but I really, I don't know, I do really like it. It's so it forces you to really pay attention to everything that's going on. It forces you to remember stuff and stuff that you can take into a normal, Ultros League seed, or even like the War of the Magi monthly tournament, like any of that stuff. It forces you to like really think about the end game build, set up that character to be what you want them to be at the end of the game, and just don't touch it. Like that's
Yeah.
I had the
think,
most success when I was doing stuff like that.
yeah, I mentioned earlier in the booth that the thing that I think is really valuable about Steve is it punishes you so strongly for menuing that it really
Mhm.
helps you get away from menuing as much. Like you're always thinking, do I really need to menu right now? Do I
Yeah.
really?
Do I really need to remember which Esper teaches the Steve 3 that I was looking for? Like, bouncing off of that Tri-Talk, that
Oh,
got me so salty, because I was just like, okay, one of these, because I just cracked my fire shield on something else immediately before that, and then I run into
we had
Tri-Talk.
a fire shield.
It was in one of the chests. I forget which one. Maybe the Returner's hideout, but
Yeah, well, who knows which one, because it's all labeled Steve.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you which.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I had mentioned too, is that you don't have that moment where you feel really excited from picking up an item that you want to menu right away to equip it because everything's Steve.
I was excited for picking up Steve.
Yeah. Well, when I got that fourth Steve that I could put on Steve, so that Steve could catch up to Steve in levels, that was really handy.
All right, now it's starting.
I still needed to teach Steve to Steve. I didn't really need it. I only had 2 Steve casters at the end of the Steve, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I bought, we bought the Steves. I'm sure you found the Steves for sale in Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, I even bought a
Yeah.
Steve so Steve could dual wield Steves.
Ooh, I didn't find those
Those are for
Steves.
sale. I missed that.
It was World of Ruin with the Massa.
Okay.
Ooh.
I
just ran out of there. I just immediately I did the Velt cave, and I was just like, nope, I can't look. Normally I would look at these shops and pick up all these items. I can't right now. I have to go.
I inadvertently made Steve a potato by doing that.
Okay, was the heal rod not intentional?
It was, but the hitting tier 1 with it was intentional to see if it was actually the heal rod.
Ah. We were wondering about that because I was like, he must not feel really strong about his healing, but the heal rod on a high vigor character was a play that I was like, that's actually kind of cool.
It was. I realized after I gave Shadow Steve to equip 2 Steves, he did not have anything to do. I did not teach him actually any spells.
Ooh.
Maybe remedy he had.
I think there was remedy early on.
And honestly, that in itself is like, you only really need 1 or 2 characters to get through Final Kafka. So if you got 1 potato, it's not that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And with the Steve that was Shadow having the hero ring, it just made sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Having all the damage on 1 character and just having another character who's just like, this is an item bot. Let's go.
Yeah, keep this character. Your job is to keep that guy alive.
Yeah.
That's
Your
it.
job is just weight trick, nothing else.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
That's what Gao ends up doing in a lot of my runs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and before I completely forget, I did want to give one. I want to thank you guys for racing for us and for helping us put on this little spotlight and to be a submission for the Ultima Relay event that's coming up. But I also wanted to shout out Jones because he made this possible. So he had pushed an update to Seedbot early this week. I think it was on Thursday, and he had basically been, okay, we're just gonna not do Steve because it's a very esoteric flag, and I get it. But he didn't know that we were doing this, so I was like, Jones, we kind of need. So we spitballed like, okay, we can go back and like bring the old Seedbot online on like a dev channel or something like that would be enough. But he had Steve working in the new Seedbot in under 2 hours. So huge shout out to Jones for keeping this submission alive. I really super appreciate it. did some fast, great work for us here.
Yeah, secret MVP of this one.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And then also want to shout out Christopher Warkin behind the scenes for pushing the buttons. It's kind of his first big trial by fire to do the restream, and we got it there, and we're able to get it done. So thanks for pushing the buttons in the background and also doing the tracking as well. And of course, big thanks to my co-host Darkness.
Yep. Thank you for
All
having
right.
on this.
And with that, I think that's everything that we wanted to do this evening. So I want to thank everybody out there in chat for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye now.